This one is going to mostly be for the girls as we cover a lot on fashion and women's empowerment. My guest today is an extraordinary woman who discovered a passion for empowering women through fashion as she overcome the traumas associated with being a burn survivor. She also walks us through what it was like growing up as an immigrant in Germany to then immigrating to America after meeting her husband, a St. Louis native, raising 2 children and starting her business, ShopSIHAM. It's an honor to have her on the show today, so please welcome Sisi Surgant. Okay, so how old were you when you became a burn survivor, when you went through that?
So I was a year old, and so thank goodness I don't remember. I probably have some trauma. Yeah, but I was just a year old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you talk a little bit about like how it was growing up
hmm
as a burn survivor, like bullying and different
hmm
things like that, and especially being you're an immigrant
hmm
in Germany.
hmm
So where are you originally from? Where did you immigrate from to
So I was
Germany?
born and raised in Germany, but my parents were immigrants, so they
Okay.
immigrated to Germany. My mom from Morocco, my dad from Tunisia. They met each other in Munich, Germany. So I was born and raised there, but I was a child of immigrants, which was really kind of hard
Hmm.
because they super loving and supportive and everything, but it was just hard, the school part of it,
Yeah.
because they could not really help me with the language or anything. And when I was like, my first day of school was just horrible because I was very confident and happy and excited about first day of school.
Hmm.
And I think I just knew yes and no in German. So I didn't speak the language. And so that was it. Like from then
Wow.
on, I had like a really bad start, no friends, trouble understanding my teacher, got always in trouble like every single day. And it was just horrible as a child because you just think like, what she want from me? Like this teacher yelling
Yeah.
at you and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll do better. But I'm like, I don't know what she wants from like, what should I do? And then just the feeling of knowing, so tomorrow is another day, another beginning, and another day I get like yelled on. And I know like now what she wanted. She wanted me to write something like new because I had made so many mistakes. And she wanted me actually sit down and write it like in the
Hmm.
right way. And I just didn't know what you mean. So I was like basically never had the homework done then that she wanted me to do personally, not the whole class. So yeah, that was hard.
Yes.
Yeah, that was hard.
And so your accent, would you
Mhm.
say it's German or more so where your parents
So
immigrated?
this is, I always get it that a lot of people don't really know what my accent is.
Hmm.
So I have no idea. I think because I speak 5 languages, maybe it's a
A
mix.
mix of, yeah. I've heard this
Yeah,
actually from other
exactly.
people.
Because I don't think that I have a typical German accent,
Hmm.
but also not an Arabic or Moroccan, Tunisian. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I guess it's a Sisi accent.
Yeah. So, can you talk a little bit more about the burn accident? So,
Yeah.
how did that go? And then what was like recovery like? Did it take years for you to recover? I mean, you were so young too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much of that you remember or
Yeah,
any at
thank
all.
goodness not. But I have
Yeah.
pictures and my mom's story and very emotional for her, which I understand now better since I'm a mom myself.
Hmm.
Back in the day, I was like, okay, come get over it. Every time somebody says something or she sees a picture of me, she's crying till today.
Yeah.
Now I understand because it must be like really one of the worst things to go through if you're a child, your mom
I
yourself.
oh, I could
Like,
not imagine.
ugh. So I got burned when I was 6 with hot tea, and there was like sugar in it, and it got poured all over me by a friend of my parents. It was an accident.
Hmm.
Obviously, she didn't do it on purpose, but and then I got to the hospital. They got me in a hospital with a helicopter, and I think I was like something between 6 or 8 weeks in the ICU.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so and they were pretty sure I'm not gonna make it. So it was like really bad. It
Wow.
like was third degree and maybe even fourth almost. And oh, sorry, I'm choking up. It's so emotional. Mm, sorry. Yeah, so they were sure I'm not gonna make it. And my mom always tells the story how she came back to them, like she got something to eat and she wants to come back to the room. And these nurses, they just talk about how that girl who got like in a burn accident, she just died. My mom is in this elevator and she screams and cries, and then this lady says to her, "Oh,
Oh,
it's not
thinking
your."
it was you.
Yeah,
Oh my
because it was the
gosh.
same room. There
Yeah.
was a girl apparently like right next to that room, and they said, "Oh no, it's not your daughter. It's the other girl," which was a little bit skinnier because what my mom found out, the doctor told her your daughter actually just survived because she's such a fat baby, which my mom takes so much credit now. She's like,
Oh
your
my
babies have to be
gosh.
fat.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they think that was one of the reasons because the fat kind of protected it to go into my organs.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so that was really tough, especially for me thinking what my parents went through, what my siblings, older siblings, just also that their life has like, changed from one day to the other.
Hmm.
And I just feel like the older I get, and also now being like since a year or two, way more connected to my scars, or maybe more aware of it and talk more about it and be more confident about it. It's just unbelievable and very, I don't know, emotional, I think.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
good, like really good. And I'm thinking also about all the people who were involved in it, like especially my siblings. And it's just so sad. Like everybody sees just the burn survivor part, but I'm thinking also of the co-survivors,
Hmm.
like my siblings in that case, that their life changed too.
Oh
My
yeah.
parents like all attention on me and what she needs and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So when do you feel like life started getting a little easier going through school? I know,
hmm,
like you said, starting school, you spoke two
horrible.
words in German.
Yeah.
So when can you remember where maybe life started getting a little easier and then you found this like passion for fashion? Passion for fashion.
Right. Rhymes.
Yes.
Yeah, so the German school system is completely different. So elementary school, I think is the same. It's like, but I think yours goes to fifth grade, right?
Elementary.
Yeah, is it to
Either
fifth or
fifth
fifth?
or sixth. Mine,
Ah, okay.
where I grew
Hmm.
up, was sixth grade, but
Oh,
a
really?
lot
So it's all
around
in
here.
elementary.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, in Germany it's one, like first class to the fourth, like 1 to 4 grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then so that was not good. So I was kind of the immigrant kid, and also not the language was not good. It got better, of course, with the years. You learn fast as a kid, but also looking different
Mhm.
because back then, now it's different. Germany is very diverse now, but back then it was kind of like yeah, there were a lot of blonde, blue eyes
Mhm.
girls, like the classic beauty in Germany, and that all was kind of difficult. And also, like, I have very curly hair. It's straightened now, but like different hair, different skin color, not the language. And then on top of all of this, I have scars.
Mhm.
Like, what
Yeah.
the what's going on? But as a child, you don't actually feel sorry for yourself. You just toughen it out, basically. I did the elementary school, and fifth grade is kind of in Germany where your ways separate. So they're like three different schools. So either you stay at the lowest kind of school, you just keep going fifth grade, sixth, and then you finish at ninth grade. That's the most basic you can do. So a lot of people who have like difficult background, I would say, they just stay at that school. And then usually the good kids who have like good education, good support system at home with school, they usually go to a school called gymnasium, which is the highest kind of, and that's actually the school like here, maybe high school, where you when you finish it and you
Mhm.
have your final degree, you can go and study and become whatever you want to become. You can.
Wow.
So,
I never knew this. This is
it's
crazy.
tricky, it's
Yeah.
different, it's harder, and all those things. So of course, I went to the lowest kind of school. I think it was, I think fifth grade or so when I started that school, and then I kind of became a little bit more cool. And um, I hate saying this, but actually, I probably have to say it. In the fourth grade, I got in a fight. And it was like there was this one girl, and it's funny that I'm telling you this, but I feel like that kind of, yeah, it must be maybe told. So that girl was a little bit older than me. I think she was fifth grade, I was fourth grade, and she was super cool, and everybody talked about her, how she is such a fighter, like a taekwondo, karate. I don't know, something like really crazy. And so I tend to be a little bit sometimes with the older ones because of my siblings. But they didn't like me. But I saw them at the home, their friends. But she kind of was very popular with the older kids, and I kind of was just jealous. I think, like, looking back, I was just jealous. And then one day at school, like, we had the school break, and I'm walking with one friend, and I say, like, oh, I wish I could just beat her. And he ran to her, and he was like, Sisi wants to get in a fight with you. She wants to beat you. And I'm like, and she goes like, yeah, of course. Like, let's meet. And she called the whole school because she was sure she's going to beat my ass. Sorry, beat my
That's
ape.
okay.
Okay, I don't know what I can say. And I was just dying inside. I'm like, what did I just say? And the whole school, and I get embarrassed. So somehow I just like got so, like, my adrenaline so up, and I did beat her up. I still don't know how I did it, but I was also scared. She was like a fight, like, pro, and I'm like, oh goodness. So I did figure it out, and I won this fight, and I feel like ever since, it sounds crazy, but I gained a different kind of confidence, I think. In a very bad way, but I did gain confidence. And also I feel like people did see me differently. And ever since, a little bit it changed. And then I got in 5th grade, and then also all those kids maybe who didn't want to be around foreigners that much. So they were gone anyways to the gymnasium, to the good school. So I feel like that's when I got more popular. And then everything went well, and I had my friends. I still hated, no, I didn't hate school because I loved going to socialize, but I never was good at school. So I never caught up on school, even if I knew the language. I didn't know, like, nothing, actually. I still don't know how I even did it, like year by year. And then at the very end, there's like this big exam that you finish that school. And I didn't pass, of course, because I still didn't figure out how to study. How do you actually study? So I was like, I don't know, actually, how you would do that. Back then, it was also like no internet, or like, it was just different. And so, of course, I failed. And then I went on. I did different things, and then I kept doing it. And I just thought, I'm so smart. I developed this strategy, thinking, when I just don't show up to exams, and then I just cannot fail. So stupid. I thought, like, I rather have people actually think that I'm just irresponsible. Oh, look at Sisi. She just didn't show up. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, she's so crazy. Then, like, people think I'm dumb, stupid, or so. So I'm like, it's maybe better. So I just went on with my life, and I actually did amazing things. I worked for YSL as a makeup artist and in fashion, and I traveled a lot, and like, big brands, big companies, fashion scene, makeup scene, all of this. So it was pretty good, and I got very lucky. And but at some point, I was also in a very toxic relationship, and I was just thinking, it still kind of burns me inside that I don't have a real degree, because, like, when you knew me, I was kind of like, I should have had a degree. I just felt like it just bothered me that I didn't really have a degree. And I went back to school. And again, in Germany, it's so different. You cannot just go and take one exam and you get the degree to go study. No, you have to go all the way back and do all of those years that you missed, and,
Oh
years. And
my,
then,
wow. So like high school, it would be technically high school
yeah,
here.
kind of
Wow.
go back to it,
Yeah.
finish that for like 2 or 3 years. And then I was finally able to go to the university, and then I studied, and I did my business degree, and business law, and all of those things. And I almost finished. And then I thought, like, hey, let's go to Australia. It's my last chance. And I was in a very bad relationship, and I kind of ran away. And I thought, like, I have to leave and figure out if I want to stay with this guy, if it's me the crazy one, or if is he the crazy one, who's the crazy one. And I just leave and see if I really miss him. I come back and just get over it and marry him, or I break up. We will see. So that's what I did. I went to Australia, finished there my studies, and of course broke up. After like a
Wow.
few days. I just knew, I'm like, oh my goodness, no. if there is one chance for me of happiness again, I should do it and just live my life.
Oh my gosh, you have such a wild story, and I feel like we haven't even we
Yeah,
have
I
not even
know.
gotten to
I
half
know.
of it
I'm
yet.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like,
Wow. Oh my gosh. So that's so crazy that you say like your younger years of schooling, you just weren't great at it, hated it,
yeah.
and other than socializing. And
Mhm.
then here you are, you ended up going to a university,
Mhm.
getting a degree.
Yeah.
That is
Crazy.
wild.
Yeah. I did it.
It sounds like a true creative, honestly.
Thank you.
Because
Oh, this
that's
is
like, I feel like most creatives are like, I hated school, but
Mhm.
then they're able to like do something great, like
Yeah.
still get a degree or create this amazing business
Yeah.
as you have done both. So
Yeah. Like I feel like my journey brought me here,
Mhm.
but now I'm thinking like this degree I could have done what I'm doing now without, but I also don't think so because I think everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
I'd have never met my husband or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Speaking of, so I want to talk more about that is how you met your husband backpacking in Thailand.
Mhm.
Okay, so give us that story.
My
'Cause that is
favorite story. Have you
crazy.
time? Do you have time?
Yeah, talk about fate. I mean, like,
Yeah,
out
I
of
will
all
give you the
places.
juice.
Yeah.
So, as I just mentioned, I went to Australia. I ran away from a toxic relationship. And so I had like this one moment, I think it was Melbourne. So I traveled with one girl, like a friend of mine. And I was like, should I break up? Should I not break up? Well, and I just like, it was the glory of a morning, like, when the sun starts coming up and you see it. And I'm like, just waking up. And I'm like, girl, because this guy made me feel very bad. Like he was like, oh, you already, I think I was 31 or 32 at this age time. You're too old anyways. You will not have kids. And like, kind of he was wanting me to stay with him and make me feel bad also. So I had like this feeling or this thought of, yeah, he might be right. Like, either I make a decision now and stay with him forever and I just accept the fact that I will never be happy anymore. Maybe I really thought like maybe this is just when you age and you just become a little bit older. This is just how you feel. You never feel this youth happiness and this crazy happiness. I really thought that for a second. And then I had like this other thought and I was like, or I break up and he might be right. Maybe I am too old. Maybe I will never find love again. Maybe I will never have kids because of this. But at least I give myself a tiny, tiny chance of finding happiness somehow again. And then I just had like this thought, like, of course, you bet on yourself. F everyone, you break up. Like, texted him, I think it was just a text, broke up with him. And I was just so happy and proud of myself that I finally, because I was struggling 4 years, I just couldn't break up, which is when if you know me, I'm like very confident and do my things. But I don't know what happened to me, but I did it. And then I really focused on my school there and friendships. And I just traveled so much there. And I went on adventures and I worked out again and went surfing and swimming and all those crazy things. Even skateboarding I learned there.
Wow.
A handstand and all those crazy things, and got like really, really deep, good friendships with people I lived with. I filled my cup with love and friendship and just feeling myself and taking care of myself again. And then I was done with my studies there, and then I was like, hey, let's keep going backpacking a little bit. So I went to Indonesia, and then after that I went to Thailand, and all by myself.
Oh my gosh. So
Crazy.
no one with you whatsoever.
Like Indonesia not. And then people were kind of trying to scare me, like, oh, be careful, Indonesia by yourself. All good. I made friends again. It kind of also forced me to socialize and be social and make friends and be open again. So it was all good for me. And then I went to Thailand and I met my sister after 6 months, and me and my sister are like besties. She's everything to me. So we met there and we were like, yay, girls trip. And then we were like hanging out. And then one night we were like on this paradise island called Koh Phi Phi. We are like walking down the streets, no cars allowed. There's a really cool island. And I see this guy, and I was actually talking to my sister about a different guy. Sorry. And I see him, and I'm like, oh, forget about this other guy. Did you see this guy? And then like we go there and we talk to him, and I thought he's a little bit arrogant. There was this small moment he was like doing like this when I was talking to him, and I'm like, what is he doing? Rolling a joint or what is it? And I look over and he's like peeling his egg, and then I look at him and he looks at me and he's like, I'm hungry. And if you know my husband, he's a bodybuilder, so it makes sense with the protein and eggs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is so cute. So we left. I thought he's not interested because he says now he was shy, but I was like, okay, let's keep going. So anyways, I met him the next morning and we talked and exchanged Facebook, and I kept traveling with my sister to different islands, and then we just kept in touch. And then one day he texts me and he's like, I quit my job. Where are you? I want to come see you. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever met. And I would, I'm like, okay.
Oh my! So you guys exchanged numbers that night?
In Kopipi, the next morning.
Okay.
Coincidence, I saw him again the next morning. So he was apparently searching for me that night, but I was hiding because I was with this other guy. Like, I know you cannot see me with a different guy. And then
like this guy peels eggs
exactly.
on the side.
Oh my goodness. So the next morning he saw me again and he sat next to me and we exchanged Facebook, because that's how it works there.
Okay.
Like no phones. Yeah, and then I'm like, oh goodness, now he comes to the city, to the different island, and I checked out his Facebook, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know, what am I doing? And then he came, and thank goodness it turned out good, because he didn't look that good. The Facebook, I'm like, he looks so young, and look, what's going on? Whoa, what did I do? Maybe I was just like, I don't know. So he came, and I was like, oh, and ever since we traveled around Thailand together, went back to Germany. Then we met again in Vietnam. I traveled for a whole month again. I went back to Germany, and every time I'm like, okay, Sisi, you gotta stop this. He's American, because he's American. So I forgot to say that. It's not gonna work out. He was backpacking too, and I'm never leaving Germany. I love Germany and everything. My friends, family, a big family person. And yeah, but he kept like every single day texting me, and I was just so in love now, like looking back, so in love. And I was wishing for that it doesn't work out or find a guy just like him, but I don't know. And it just kept going. And then he came to Germany to visit. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm getting deeper and deeper in this relationship. And then one day he called me and he's like, hey, do you want to go on a date, Valentine's date with me? And I'm like, oh, of course, so cute. I thought like he meant like FaceTime, Skype, whatever. And he's like, okay, great, because I just booked you a ticket to come visit me in St. Louis.
And had you been to America ever?
To America, yes, with my friends.
Okay.
Like, I traveled, but not to him.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, I was dying inside, because our families both were like totally against our relationship. So like,
because of the distance, or
distance, mentality, just different backgrounds, and
is he
age
is
difference.
younger than you?
He's younger,
Okay.
age difference. Like there's so many different things. So like they probably thought like I'm just like an older German, super traditional, because Moroccan, Tunisian, like super traditional girl. And that's why I was like nervous to come. That's why I just stayed for a week. I'm like, okay, if things not work out, then it's at least just a week and I come back. But I fell even more in love because he was just so amazing. And I went back, and then we decided that I'll come back again for 3 months after my studies were final done. And then I stayed 3 months, went back to Germany, more in love. I'm like, what are you doing? And then came again for 3 months, got in trouble with the secondary check here, because you're not allowed to stay that long in America if you're not an American.
Oh.
Yeah, so they said, so yeah, that's the last time for you. You cannot come in for a year. You can finish your vacation now, but you have to go back and not come. And that was like a kind of no-go for us. And then at some point he proposed, and I stayed. And that's
Wow.
it. Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk more about that then, about your moving to America.
Yeah.
So how has that been for you when you moved here and like living here versus Germany and everywhere else you've lived?
It's crazy, because the crazy part, I think, like now looking back, is because I didn't plan on. It was not like the typical, oh, I'm gonna move and I'm packing my stuff, and I kind of just stayed. It was like a very impulsive situation and decision, because I just knew, and he knew too, that I will not live my life without him. And I also don't want to live my life like not seeing him for a whole year and risk the whole relationship. And he already had his job and he was very established here. And I was just finished with my studies. So I was like, okay, the first step is just to stay together first. I'll stay here. Which I did. And maybe that was good because I didn't overthink it with like, oh my gosh, and crying family. And
Mm.
so my parents came to the wedding and we did all of those things. And it was very lonely in the beginning, but I actually found very fast, connected very quick because my sister gave me this great idea to go on Bumble BFF. I don't know if
Oh,
you heard of
yeah.
it.
Yes.
So I went there and I found like lifelong friends. Thank goodness. I still friends with them and it just worked out. So because I knew I want my own circle. I had like his friends, but I just wanted to be like my friends, your friends. We can have friends together, but just have my circle too. So that's what I did, and I got actually lucky with finding friends. And then, but it was still lonely because, like I said, I'm a family person. I miss my mom, my
Mm.
dad, siblings, nephew,
And you
and
have 2 kids, and
now I
that
do.
can be, like, super lonely also.
I didn't have kids back then,
Okay,
so it's with him.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was not a mom
So
yet,
you were able to, like, at least establish
a little
your
bit,
life
but
and
it
friends
kind of
before.
friends, I would say, because I was not allowed to work because I didn't have a green card yet. The whole
Okay,
process
yeah.
until they finished the paper. So I kind of felt stupid because like I told you, I went all the way back to school, got my degrees, and then I finished, and now here I am, a double immigrant. Again, the same
Yeah.
situation. Again, I'm in a different country, no language, have to start all over again, like double immigrant. Wow, who's
Yeah.
doing this, right? And on top of everything, I just finished my degrees, and now I'm like sitting here, cannot work again. Like, what did I do this for? So and then by the time I actually got, if the process was done and I finally could start searching for a job and I kind of had already a job opportunity, I found out I'm pregnant. And I'm like, great. And then, yeah. And then the next thing, I felt guilty. I was like, I'm not going to work now. Like the whole time I'm just sitting here, like kind of relaxing, not doing anything. And now I'm a mom. I'm not going to go work now. Now I want to spend time with my child and, bond. And so I stayed home with the kids, and then a little bit later, I had my second child, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And then I would say I was like I had friends and my kids and my husband, and by that time, my family, thank goodness, they come so much to visit, and we go to visit, so it kind of worked out.
What's that flight like? Is it long?
Yeah, I just
Okay,
come back.
I was wondering. I've never been
Oh, okay.
over that way, so I have no idea, like, flight times, but
Yeah, it would be shorter if the flight would be like direct to Munich,
Mhm.
but since you have to change flights, and so I would say like 13, 14 hour flight with,
Like, total travel
yeah, with
time?
total
Oh,
travel time.
wow. That's still so
I
much.
know, I know.
Yeah,
It is tough, yeah.
yeah.
But
That's great
everything's
that they come
possible.
visit, though.
Oh
That's
yeah, they come like
awesome.
two times, I would say, in average a year, and we go once a year, and it works out. It's
Yeah.
great. Actually, I might see them more than I would probably if I lived there because I would be working. Then you're like, okay, I cannot come over every day. But if they come, whenever they do come, they stay with us. So we like the whole
Mhm.
time together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you and your husband get a break from the kids a little
Yeah, we can
bit.
go on
Yeah.
date nights and pretend we are
Yes.
like young, wild, and free.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
So, what are the main differences that you've, like, come across from moving over to America? Is there anything that you are like, this is so different, it was hard to adjust to?
So one thing is, I'm talking now not business related. I will talk about it in a second, but the people are different, totally, which is a plus because they're Midwest. Oh my gosh, so nice. Sorry. The Midwest people are just the nicest, and Germans are not so nice.
Oh.
Like in Germany, they're a little bit more direct, and they tell you right away if you do a mistake. They're always in your business. Hey, you're not allowed to park here. What are you doing? Oh, like they always
Oh.
find reasons to fight with you.
Mhm.
And here, everybody speaks to you. I go to Walmart. The checkout lady, she gives me a hug. Like it's just like so much love here, or like they're so friendly, and I just love it. And I know, of course, that a lot of people, it might be superficial. They don't know me. They just act like this. But I'd rather have people be nice to me. Like, it
Mhm.
just gives you a different vibe through the day. If
Yeah,
everyone is
it's an
nice and
energy
yeah, it's an
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know they don't know me and they don't really care about me, but it is just nicer to live around people where everyone is so nice, especially with kids.
Yes.
Like that, I have my kids growing up here with in such a kind world.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you said personal, you said business too.
Oh yeah,
So
the business was kind of tough because I had to start my business and in a different country as an immigrant again, different language. I didn't know the law. It was like all different. It was just again now looking back, I'm like I don't even know how I did it. I like it's if you don't know anyone and you're also not connected, you didn't go to school here, you didn't work here in a professional way to know professional people. It was just like out of nothing, just doing this kind of insane a little bit. But now I'm like, oh, thank goodness I did it. But
yes.
thank goodness I didn't know what I'm running into. But now it's good.
What made you have the desire to start that? Like where I know you said you stayed home with your
Hmm.
kids at first.
Hmm.
And so how long ago did you start your business and what gave you you know what, I'm going to do this?
Yeah, it's like 1.5 years now ish,
Okay.
not that long. And yeah, so I would say I always loved fashion. My mom was a tailor, so when we grew up, she was always making clothes for us. So I was kind of always in the fashion world. Also, I worked with YSL, Filippa K, different designers. And so I always knew I love fashion. And even if I am a burn survivor, I kind of never, ever did let it hold me back to not wear anything that I wanted. So I was always very fashionable. I loved it. I just,
Mhm.
I
Well, and I
always
love
like,
how you said that fashion helped you
Mhm.
gain more confidence and
Yes.
helped you feel empowered. Like I loved that
Yeah.
reading that about you.
Yeah, it absolutely because I don't look at fashion in a superficial way. Like maybe a lot of especially guys would say like, "Ugh, it's fashion."
Yeah.
I mean, everyone cares somehow to a degree about fashion, even if some people think not, but they still choose
Oh
what
yeah.
should I wear? Does this fit to this? So everyone has their own fashion, their own styles.
Mhm.
I just feel like I look at fashion really at like if you look good or you feel your best,
Mhm.
doesn't matter what other people think. You just have a different confidence. You just go out there and you're just different. Like
Yes. And
if
men and women, you were so right. Like men will
exactly,
be like, "Oh, whatever, just put
yeah,
me in whatever." But
hmm they
it's
do.
true
They
that
still
you
did choose. Should I wear the black jeans or the blue jeans or the
right,
cargo pants
right.
or the you know?
Yes.
So I feel like fashion is such a big impact on everyone. You
Yeah.
still go shopping. Like even if you hate fashion, you still go and get yourself some clothes and you think a little bit about it.
Yeah, I
Um,
totally agree because when I am in an outfit that is just so me and I
mhm.
feel good, I am just like
Having best
on
day.
another level.
Exactly, a best day.
Yes. And then other days I'm like, oh, I can't find anything to wear. Whatever. I'm just going to throw this on.
Yeah,
And it's like, it is a totally different energy.
exactly. Yeah, I feel like that too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you do image coaching.
Yes.
What does that look like? What is
Mhm.
this? Let's talk all about
Oh, yeah, I love it.
it.
So, image coaching is a kind of a mix between styling someone, but not just like your appearance, so also your kind of your inside and your behavior and etiquette. And so, I would say I just took my weakness that I thought is my weakness, being an immigrant, being different, and I just took it as my superpower, and I just try to build bridges between people and professional environments. So somebody comes to me, especially now in the small business world, I'm very connected to a lot of small business owners, and they all struggle with image. How do I look out there? What should I wear? What's the etiquette? What if I get invited to this place? What should I wear? How should I behave? Or all those little
Mhm.
things that come actually in mind that a lot of times you don't even think about. And this is when I come in place and then help people first of all with styling. How do you look? What should you wear on certain occasions? And but also how should you, like, let's say you go to an interview, what should you do with your coat when you arrive at the restaurant or wherever? Should you walk there like with the coat, or should you maybe give it up like to the person in the front? Eye contact, how much is appropriate? How do I shake hands right? Entschuldi- Sorry, I said like
That's
Entschuldigung in
okay.
German. All those little things very important to think about.
What would this look like if I were to come to you and say, "Hey, I would love to join your coaching program? Is this like just a la carte type of thing? Like you're explaining a lot of like when someone has like an event or a specific thing that they need help with, or is this something where people can come to you and you work with them like for an extended period of time on different things?
So I would say it's both.
Okay.
Sometimes I have clients who really come because of a special occasion
Mm-hmm.
and styling and stuff. And then I have clients who actually like work with me throughout the whole year just to find their personality and style, who they really are. And I think it's just so important, especially with styling, to know what color you are, like what type, and also what body shape you are. And
Yeah. Like
once you
what
figure
season is it? Like when
exactly,
I'm a winter or a
exactly,
summer? Okay. I've been told I'm a winter. I don't know. Is that,
you might
do you
be,
think
yeah,
that's accurate?
yeah.
Okay. So is this like when you're doing this coaching, is it like you meet with them in person or is it more of a Zoom thing or is it kind of like a little bit of both?
So it's a little bit of both. It depends if it's in America or I do it also in Germany, in Europe, in Morocco a little bit. So it's kind of both. But usually, if it's here, people come over to my little studio. We figure out their color, which is really so important, and your body shape. Because once you know those, you shop for those. You save yourself time and money, and everything in your closet fits, and everything mix matches. So
Mhm.
it's so worth your money to invest one time to it, and then you just figure out what looks best.
Yes. Yeah, cuz I know for myself like
Mhm.
I'll go to the store and I'll buy stuff and sometimes I get it home and I'm like this is not my color. This is not work with my body type. Like being tall and I've always been slender my whole life and I always joke that like I wear stuff sometimes and I look like a rectangle because I don't
Mm.
I'm not blessed with like that full
Mm.
hourglass,
You look
but
beautiful, girl. I
well,
saw
thank
you.
you.
I'm like, wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But it is so hard to like sometimes dress for your shape to make it look the best.
It is different. Yeah. Once
Yes.
you know, it's also different confidence. You just know who you are and what fits and what looks the best, and that's it. A lot of times we do this mistake that we see something on somebody else or a trend and we're like, oh,
Mhm.
I love it. I
Yes,
want to wear it. And you
that's
don't look.
me.
Yeah, I'm still the same way sometimes. But once you figure out who you are, you can follow different trends and you just kind of try to customize them to yourself. So
Yeah,
I
I
think,
love it. It seems like you do a lot more than just the fashion. You're
mhm.
like diving into like, okay, who you are as a person, your image, like everything.
Yeah, I would say I'm a cosmopolitan. I just love mixing culture and people from different places and make all the women feel welcome and safe. And every time I have like this little parties in my studio where people come for a photo shoot and we dress, and it's just this power that happens there, like those girls networking with each other and also seeing themselves in fashion and in the best light possible. It's so powerful in bringing them all together and they network
Mhm.
and they connect and then it gets bigger and bigger and they help each other. Just seeing this and witnessing it makes me like so emotional when I cry. It's like, oh,
Yes.
so fulfilling.
So this is your women empowerment events.
Yes.
Okay, which
Hmm.
they started by you were just doing photo shoots in your
Yeah.
studio. So this was like headshots, like you were doing headshot type of things in your
For the whole
studio?
website, actually.
Okay.
So we have always an official photo shoot for the website. We're very professional. We rent something, but sometimes we also have photo shoots like fast, like oh this new brand, like new fashion came in. Let's do it real quick. Then I have some girls because I love like my whole brand is kind of like also for burn survivors or women with scars, internal, external. They don't have to be visible. So I just love having models who are a little bit different.
Mhm.
And that's what I was doing naively, like, like, oh, let's put like a beautiful woman together. And it just started to become like a network event. And also, sometimes women come and they arrive and they're like, one just broke up, one just found like out somebody in her family is dying, bad news. And they come together and they cry. And then all of a sudden they leave happy and like with their hearts are so full. And I think this is wow. It was just like,
Yeah. You're just giving women a space to
yeah, and I didn't know
come
that
together.
until
Yeah.
like people kept reaching out. Can I come? Can I be part of it? And I just keep doing it. And now we have like always those small parties. We have fun. Like we have some drinks and some snacks and take some pictures. It's
Yeah.
like a little girls' party, and it's like therapy for your soul. And you look good, and it's just great. And networking. They all network with each other, and it's great.
And they're all done at your studio?
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that because I love networking. But it sounds like, is this more of like an intimate networking group? Because I know there are some that like you go to and there's like 200 people walking around. But then I'm more like, I like more the intimate ones because I'm somewhat of an introvert. So sometimes walking into like huge events like that, I'm like so overwhelmed and I'm like, okay, time to go home. And I've talked to like 2 people. Whereas like a smaller setting, I feel like it's so much easier for me to like have my business card or whatever and be able to exchange, conversation with people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is very more intimate. It's usually between 10 and 20 girls.
Okay.
Something in that, and then everyone talks to each other. It's very, the vibe is like really, really beautiful because it's not anything that somebody wants to show off or so. Like, they just come who they are, and it's very humbling. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like to sit there and just have like real girls talk.
Yeah. And then everybody leaves just feeling empowered.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
great.
And then like, and then they see themselves on a website, like modeling. They all became just models. It's just amazing.
Yeah. I
It's
love
really cool.
that. Well, I want to come to one.
Please.
Yes.
Please, of course.
Are they're once a month?
Yeah, usually
Okay.
once or twice a month.
Okay, well, we'll be in touch then because I want to come.
Yeah, you should.
Now we're getting on to exciting stuff,
Yeah.
and that is talking about your clothing line, which is, I don't want to mispronounce this,
Misajo.
Okay, Misajo. And I am not even going to be able to pronounce your line with your sister, so I'm going to let you do that one.
So that's the Maghrabian gems, but that is more cosmetical, I would say, and health related.
Okay. So can you talk about both of those?
Yes.
And a little bit of like what people can expect with each line and like what your inspiration was behind them.
So I started with ShopSIHAM, and that was usually like that I shopped around, like hand-selected stuff, European style always. And then at some point I started designing myself and have like a house brand, and then I was like, I will call it Misajo because Mi stands for my daughter's name, and Sa for my son's name, and Jo for my husband. So it's Misajo.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, I was wondering, I'm like, is that
it's like the first
a different language or
no, it's the first 2 initials of their names.
I love
and
that.
It sounds still European, so I just love it. And
it sounds upscale too, like a little
right?
bit of
I was
luxury.
thinking, yes. And they are upscale, so I just like, that my kids and my husband is just everything to me. So without, especially my husband, I would not be able to run the business. He's so supportive. So that's why I was like, I definitely dedicate the name to them. And I started it, and it's really cool. It's so much more me. And so I actually can really be creative with the styles, but it's still I would say like pretty much street style, everyday brands, like not the classic fashion show things that you would never really wear. And Maghrabian gems is very exciting. And I just come back now from Morocco. We were just there, and it's all different cool things because I'm Moroccan and Tunisian, and it's all from that North Africa, Mediterranean area. Like really things that women use, like BC kind of old, like lipstick. It's super natural. You put it like, it's like a powder, you put it on your lips, and it stays like for hours. Or like black eyeliner, but it's very natural and it's very healthy for your eyes. And people used to use it when they have like an eye infection, or if their eyes hurt or tear, just to but it's like eyeliner, so it's kind of like,
so they used it to like help with that.
Yes. And then,
but it's a makeup.
Exactly. It's like
also,
as if you put like eyeliner on your eyes.
Wow.
And it also stays there very long. And then things like keys, it's like a peeling, it's like a glove that you scrub your skin with. Soaps for that to make your skin softer, and argan oil, for example. I don't know if you heard of it.
For hair.
For hair, cosmetic, but also to eat. We don't have the eating one, but we have just a cosmetic one. But The argan oil, for example, it's really just allowed to be produced in Morocco. The Berber women, they have like a patent or whatever you call it in English. Sorry, I'm just making up things, words. Patent, I don't know how you call it, but they are the only ones who are allowed to do it.
Oh, a patent.
Thank you.
Okay.
Exactly.
I was like, I think that's what you're.
Exactly. In Germany, it's patent.
Okay.
So that's my, like, I have like connections to them, so bring it. And there are like just so many cool things. Or rose water. There's just like amazing products that come from that area and are BCO'd and healthy and good stuff. And I just feel like in America, so many things, even like eating what we eat here,
Yes.
it's just insane. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited to bring something that is actually natural and you don't have to worry about it, because
I'm loving this because I am so much like, you listen to this show and you've heard me preach about natural stuff and food, healthy food that doesn't have all the crap in it. So I love that this is like a very natural cosmetic beauty line.
It's so good. Even like deodorant. Deodorant.
Oh, deodorant. Oh,
That's how you say. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Even
that's crazy. I've been looking for a better natural deodorant because
I should have brought you something.
Yeah.
I'll give you when you come. I give you some.
Probably need some right
no,
now. No, I'm
come
kidding.
on. No.
But no, I haven't found any that I love that work really well. So
yeah, even this is like a powder. Actually, it's like a rock. They kind of blend it and it becomes like a powder. So I'm still kind of impressed how I was able to deliver it, because it looks like something else, like a white powder. And you just grab it and you put it like here.
Okay.
And it's great. It's natural. You don't have to worry about anything. So it's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's on my list.
Good.
writing all of this down.
Yeah,
I
give you some next time.
Okay. Perfect. I want to talk about your advice and tips for women. So we talked a little bit about what you teach in your image coaching, but do you have any tips for women listening right now of like ways that they could just jumpstart into dressing correctly for themselves to feel good, based on, their hair color, their body type, their size, their skin tone, like all the things?
Hire me. No, it's just
Tip number one.
Tip number one. Number two, I would say maybe just, find an influencer or somebody that you love to follow on Instagram. Easy. And then just get inspired by this. But I really I know I was just a joke, hire me, but I really think it is important, and it would be very good to hire a stylist. Because like I said earlier, once you find out, it's easy. They do the work for you. You find out what color type I am, what size, what should I be wearing, even, bra size sometimes, like different things that you really don't think of. And then also they help you also with like the personality do you want to be, like how do you want the world to receive you. And I think like once you do this, from then on you learn more what you actually want and what not, and you save your time in the long run, save yourself time and money. So I think that would be like something to go for, especially with the color, to know, because skin color, eye color, hair color, what colors go.
Yes.
So
yeah, colors
really
are
important.
huge
It's
for me.
so huge.
I'm just like, I put on so many that I'm like, this washes me out.
Exactly. You think like,
And,
people like, oh, you look so tired today. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I'm not tired, I'm just wearing yellow.
Exactly. Or like some days people say to you, you look so good. What did you do? And you're like, oh, probably just the color.
Yeah.
So it makes really a world of a difference.
Yes. Well, yeah, you walked in and we met today, and I was like, oh,
you
so the purple is working.
Yeah, the green is working too.
Okay, so let's go ahead and drop all your social media, your websites, to your clothing, everything. So give it to everybody.
Okay, so my personal one where I do the styling and everything is Sisi Sur, so SISI dot and then SUR. And the shop one is, the Instagram is ShopSIHAM.official. And the website is ShopSIHAM.com. And that's actually where you find everything, where you find the ShopSIHAM stuff, the Misajo stuff, the Maghrebian gems, also more about my background and story and what we do with the woman empowerment and all those things. So
I love it.
ShopSIHAM.com.
Yes. Perfect. Well, thank you
Thank you so
so
much.
much for coming on. This
Thank
was
you for
I had
having
so
me. I
much
love it. I
fun.
know. Like some girls
And
talk.
yes, and I will be at a women empowerment
Please.
meetup,
Yeah,
so
please.
I'm looking forward to
Good,
that.
good.
And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
As always, I appreciate you all so much for listening. My goal is for these episodes to at least help one person in some aspect of their life. So if you like what you hear, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe to the show, as well as follow us on social media at Inside Voice Pod. Thanks.